Number 7. The Full House Review. Honestly, I had anticipated this review since I first started watching the Nostalgia Critic, and who can blame me? It is nostalgic material, and it's definitely one of the worst shows out there, so he definitely would have had his way with it, eventually. And I was so gratified when it finally popped up, so excited, and it really is one of his funniest episodes despite the fact that the show is pretty boring. And that's usually pretty hard to talk about. Though my favorite part is probably when he compares Dan Tanner to Bob Saget.
Dan Tanner? Blow me. Bob?
You are my number one guy.
Of course, the rest of the review is a masterpiece, and he really doesn't pull any punches with this one. Usually he's able to salvage at least one or two good things out of whatever he watches, but here I don't think he says a single positive thing about this entire show, which is fitting considering that the show is complete and utter bullcrap.
Oh my god! The Olsen twins are mutant alien robots bent on world domination! I knew it all along! So
Number 6. Captain Planet and the Planeteers. This is another one of his earlier reviews, and to be honest, I know plenty of people who could make fun of this show in their sleep, but to be honest, I think the Nostalgia Critic does it so eloquently and so thoroughly that it deserves a part on this countdown. Not to mention, he has quite a few skits in this episode that make it all the more enjoyable, especially the first time his friend Bargo was seen on screen.
You're not the real Mati, are you?
The thing about that is,
Hurt! Oh! Fucking idiot!
Oh, Mati, we will never grow bored of making fun of you, you great big pussy.
a pussy! I am a pussy!
More hilarity abounds when the Nostalgia Critic actually tries to put on the Ring of Heart himself.
I feel so relaxed and pleasant. So what if I don't have fire, wind, or water? It's not like I have to be ruler of the earth. Damn it!
This is one of the first episodes of The Critic that I ever saw, and to me, it's definitely one of the first that really showed off what he was capable of as a comedian and as a reviewer. He just throws himself at this show constantly, and he throws a little bit of everything into the mix. Interviews, jokes, making fun of the show, showing us its history. He does it all in this review, and it's absolutely wonderful, well deserving of its spot in this countdown.
Look at this thing. Are you telling me that this little thing is actually supposed to make people feel better?
I see.
Oops. Wrong ring. So you don't.
Number 5. Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat review. Wow, I've been really delving back into his back catalog of episodes now, haven't I? Well, be that as it may, not only is this a great episode because it's a double feature, but also because it also gives us one of the Nostalgia Critic's most used and, well, most stolen running gags in the entire history of his show.
You guessed it, taking over the world.
Of course!
Even without that fact, it would still be a pretty memorable episode, mostly because of the interactivity that the critic inserts between himself and the movies that he's watching, such as when Van Damme is giving his corny speech in Street Fighter.
I'm gonna get on my boat. Now, who wants to go home? And who wants to go with me?
No, no, no!
Heck, the way he describes these movies really actually makes you want to go out and see them for yourself. In fact, I bought a copy of both of these movies based solely on this review. I feel very ashamed of myself. Well, my shame aside, this is still an amazing review, a great double feature, and one of the funnier Critic episodes that I had seen when I first started watching him. The characters are easy to make fun of, and the Critic does this to its full potential, especially the billions of subplots in the Street Fighter movie. He also singles out Van Damme and the main character of Mortal Kombat for particular scorn, and I bless him for that. Here's hoping that Raul Julia rests in peace, and thank you for your final gift of course.
Nice dress.
Okay, seriously, no more Johnny Cage jokes. I just can't shrug anymore.
Enough!
So you don't
Number 4. The top 11 villain songs. Now, at the time this video was made, this was one of Walker's most recent videos as opposed to one of his oldest. And still, I feel that it needs to be on this list. Heck, it was actually posted while I was still considering which 11 videos to put up in this review. That gives you an idea of just how good it is. I knew I had to put at least one of his top 11 lists on this list, but the question is, which one would it be? You see, his top 11 lists are usually much different than his normal reviews, being much more analytic rather than humorous, and while he does throw in quite a few very, very funny jokes into these lists, they're usually much fewer and far between when compared to, say, Batman and Robin, or Garbage Pail Kids, or any of his other reviews. Still, they're very enjoyable to listen to. Whether you disagree or agree, it's going to spark a conversation.
It's a secret to survival in a very nasty world.
And then, of course, he always manages to throw in a curveball by putting in choices that you never really would have expected to see on the top 11 countdown.
They called me well. In the dark of the night, terror will strike. Terror's the least I can do.
Now, I chose this top 11 list mostly because it's just so well-versed. He has subject matter from both adult movies as well as kids' movies, and a good mix of new as well as old. And that, I think, gives it a whole lot of appeal.
It gets especially lively and colorful.
Not to mention, I think his choice for the number 1 spot on this list is probably one of the most appropriate choices I have ever seen in ever.
It's not my fault he made the devil so much stronger than a man.
Not much more to say about this one other than it's an amazing countdown from a pretty amazing guy.
I'll see you in everlasting damnation. So you don't
Number 3. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Coming Out of Our Shells tour. This was a team-up that everybody had wanted to see from the very beginning. The angry video game nerd and the nostalgia critic, two of the internet's most famous reviewers, together doing a single review. And I have to say, they made a pretty good choice when they chose what they were going to review this time.
Paper! Olive Garden! The alphabet! Goat cheese!
Yeah!
Yeah!